People, Jon Bellion is the artist that we need. Hey you, if you're deciding right now whether or not to click away, let me tell you that Jon Bellion is the man. He's the music that you didn't know you needed, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. In an era of pop artists and rappers who can't shut up about how much more money they make than all of us and how much better they are than all of us, or who make these enormous dramatic mountains out of the molehills of their relationship drama, or worse yet, who don't even write their own lyrics and then expect us to connect with them emotionally for whatever reason. In this era, we need reality, we need sincerity, we need honesty, and we need an attention to detail and to craft that Jon Bellion provides. Singers are leaders. They lead us in emotions and in feelings and in thoughts and in ideas. They lead us through their music. So it's important that whoever's music we are listening to, we respect them. And I tend to find that the people who make the best leaders are typically those who didn't want to be leaders for the sake of being a leader in the first place. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. And that example is Jon Bellion. Let me explain. Hey everybody, I'm Clifford Stumby, the pop song professor, and welcome to my channel where we make English class awesome by explaining and sometimes roasting song lyrics on school days. Today we're talking about 10 reasons that Jon Bellion is the artist that we all need. Jon Bellion has a long career as a professional songwriter. He's written for Rihanna, he's written for Jason Derulo, lots of others, but he's also written a lot of his own stuff. He put out the album Translations Through Speakers in 2013, The Separation in 2013, The Definition in 2014, The Human Condition in 2016, and most recently, Glory Sound Prep just last year. And I want to use Glory Sound Prep as an example for a lot of the points that I'm about to make about who he is as an artist. I'm gonna link in the description to an interview that he did with Genius.com that was really good, where I felt like I got to know him as an artist so much more. It's 100% worth you watching. But do remember that literally in this album, he tells us that he wants his fans to stop telling people that he's underrated because he doesn't want to be famous. So this isn't me telling you to go watch any of his music videos or listen to his songs, but it kind of is. Really, the main idea is that through this video, if John watches this, I'd like to thank you for setting an example, not only for me personally, but for artists everywhere. Number one, the reason that Jon Bellion is such a good artist is that he doesn't do it for the fame. He's clear that he wants fans and he wants people to like his music, but he's not just doing it for some sort of superficial recognition. In Adult Swim, we hear the line, "Yeah, I never want to be famous, stop calling me underrated." And then in Let's Begin, he says, "I stopped the flexing on socials, corny shit to impress you. You get too famous, then everything in your life is stressful." There's a difference between being known and being successful. The core idea here is that Jon does not define success as being famous and as people knowing your name. Reason number two, instead of chasing that fame, he's looking for improvement and for becoming better at what he does. In Let's Begin, he sings, "Was never focused on getting bigger, just getting better. That's why I keep getting bigger after every record." A lot of pop artists out there, their fame and their notoriety is inflated through marketing tactics and through just stupid, shallow, one-time junk that they've done. Jon Bellion's success is a lot more sturdy because it's built on hard work, being really good at what he does, and continually delivering a solid product. Number three, he doesn't treat financial reward as the measure of success either. In Stupid Deep, he sings, "Why has life become a plan to put some money in my hand when the love I really need is stupid cheap, stupid cheap." Now, admittedly, he is admitting that sometimes he struggles with that desire to go and make money, but he's recognizing here that what he really needs to have success and happiness in life is love that doesn't cost anything. Jon Bellion is a Christian, so the love could be coming from a spiritual source, it could be coming from relationships around him, but for him, it's greater and more important than the money. Number four, in addition to searching for love, he's searching for legitimate happiness. I feel like so many people just assume that happiness is money, success, fame, having all the cool stuff, whatever, and they don't ever stop to ask, like, wait, do I want stuff or do I want happiness? Okay, I want happiness, now let's define what that actually means. Having your goal or your direction in life is super important, so asking that question and answering it honestly and truthfully with yourself is a must do. Jon talks about this in his song, The Internet. "Life became dangerous the day we all became famous. No one cares if you're happy just as long as you claim it." He doesn't want to go out there just for the perception of being happy or to look like he's so successful. He wants something deeper. And he says in Conversations with My Wife, "Will you love me when my phone turns off? When you forget about the fame? I don't want to be some digital Jesus. No more followers. We'll both get lost when it's me and you inside real life." And it seems that for him, happiness comes in a large part from this relationship relationship with his wife. And he talks about it more in Adult Swim. He says, I went to Mozambique, a poorer country, and saw a real kind of happiness. So I don't feel guilty when Nike sends me some packages. We still end up in boxes even though we chase packaging. Maybe he used to feel like shallow when he got like free shoes or whatever, and he was like, oh, this is just surface level stuff. But now that he's seen true happiness, that kind of surface level stuff doesn't even tempt him anymore. If you want to hear more about his thoughts on fame versus happiness, you should also listen to Cautionary Tale, where he tells like this mythical epic story that basically explains all of his thoughts on it. Number 5, as a songwriter, he gets really specific and vulnerable about what's true and real to him. I just don't really feel like I'm connecting to an artist or to a friend or just anybody in general if I don't know that they're a real person and struggle with real things the same way that I do, because I just don't have time to hang out with perfect people, you know? And he says in Stupid Deep, what if who I hoped to be was always me, and the love I fought to feel was always free? And then what if all the things I've done were just attempts at earning love, because the hole inside my heart is stupid deep, stupid deep. He's chasing stuff, he's trying to earn love, but he doesn't realize that people are just willing to give it. He talks about trying to fill that hole in his heart, and it feels like in the song Stupid Deep, he's starting to like discover the answers, and it's really cool. And speaking to that vulnerability, as a husband, he talks about how he's trying really hard, but he not only talks about the good times and compliments his wife by calling her as thick as like biscuits and Italian wine mixed together or something like that in one of the songs, but he gets deep into like how he's made mistakes too. Couples Retreat is a song completely about reconciliation with his wife, and in Conversations with My Wife, we hear, who the F cares about these plaques on my wall? You're still the only thing I've done right. That's him comparing his success in music and as an artist to his relationship with his wife, and guess what? The relationship with his wife wins. And then he has this really interesting question in the song Blue. He says, then I realize, what the hell is love if you're in complete control? And so he's like struggling with his tendencies to be very controlling in the relationship perhaps, and wants to just kind of let his wife be in control as well. He's struggling to break down the walls and just to trust her. And I felt like I learned something about marriage just from listening to the song. Number 7, and this is not necessarily something like, oh, Jon Bellion's such a great person, but this is more him having a lot of talent as a songwriter, is he gets very, very specific. And so he'll be honest about who he is or what he's doing, but he won't just be like, yeah, I'm not a great person, yeah, I'm not a bad person. No, he talks about examples and tells stories in a way that makes these things show that they are real to him, and thus they can be real to us. A lot of songwriters out there aren't willing to get specific. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I have troubles with self-doubt. Oh yeah, I'm afraid. Oh yeah, relationships are tough. But like Jon Bellion is given details here, and that makes his songs super engaging, super interesting, and super helpful. The song Ma's Joint is about how his grandma has Alzheimer's or something like that, and how his mom is having to take care of her. And he has this great, like, just heart-wrenching verse here where he says, conversations with the devil, and he's telling me, what's the point in making memories when you can't even find him when you're 70? So like there's the self-doubt, like, is it worth it to try to do things when Alzheimer's could take over? He says, conversations with my father, and he's telling me there's a point in making memories because they'll be even better when we're heavenly. And so like he's laying out the thought process for himself here in dealing with this situation. He's getting into the two conflicting sides in his own mind. And that's a really good example of him being specific with us about what he's singing about. Number 8, he's this really cool and weird mix of honest and arrogant and humble. In JT, he sings, thought my way to greatness, I could claim this, but he gave me the brain, capital H, so it's God. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, God gave me the brain to work with, but I did something with it, which is pretty fair. Yeah, because when you're born, you don't get to choose the tools that you work with, and apparently he was given some pretty good tools musically, and he's actually acted on it and done something with them. And let's begin, we hear, I'm really better than everybody pretends to be, which kind of goes back to that sort of like, I work hard and get bigger with every album, not because I'm trying to get bigger, but because I'm trying to get better. And honestly, that's a fair assessment. When you're afraid to hurt feelings, you water down the worth. I'm done pretending your record's great and I'm down to work. Which kind of explains why he's coming across as arrogant, because he's basically saying, I'm just gonna honestly say things, these things need to be said. And he's basically saying, hard work, better than whatever the heck it is you're doing. And he really addresses this sort of controversial approach in the song Adult Swim. This man's on fire. I can't pretend I'm not talented. For me to fake humble's a corny way to be arrogant. I always flex, but I realize that it's divine appointment. I'm a cross between hard work and Jesus anointed. So he continues to go back and say like, look, I got this talent from somewhere. It's just that I've done something with it. And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not talented, because just doing that is like this sort of self-superior way of coming across as humble, but really it's not that humble. Dude just says it like it is. Number 9, I think his lyrics are super, super clever, and he gives us his best when he puts stuff out. Not only musically, and go listen to the record, you'll see what I mean there, but like listen to some of these lyrics. There's just a couple of quick examples because there's too much to go into. In JT, he sings, "Remember dreams seemed far away, was pinching pennies like Lane and Hardaway." And he's referring to Penny Lane and Penny Hardaway, the latter being an athlete, Penny Lane being a song by the Beatles. In Adult Swim, he sings, "If they don't feel your thoughts, start dreaming in Braille. They'll try to sell you short because their dreams are for sale." The rhymes are good, the little clever pun is really good there. It's awesome. You listen to his stuff and there's always something deeper. There's always some meaning or some reference that you didn't get the first time. And finally, number 10, when he gives commentary, he gives good advice and his values are in the right place. So in Adult Swim, he sings, "Financial plans should be handled in stealth. I fight to lead a private life for my family's health. I respect both of those. I'm making certain decisions. I'm flying under the radar. I really love my life and this music thing is a great job." And I really respect the fact that he treats his music as a job, because I think a lot of people dream of not having a job and just like being a creative or something like that. But Jon Bellion sits down, he says, "No, this is a job, I'm making something good, I'm working hard here," and is not like, you know, "I'm a celebrity and I make music when I want to." No, like, he's there to work. And finally, we hear this really good message in Let's Begin. "I spoke with Yahweh, he told me Jesus grafted us in, which means my brother's my brother, it don't matter the skin. America needs to watch how they treat his chosen people, but that's for deeper than surface records, now let's begin." He's referencing racism, there seems to be a little bit of a reference to anti-Semitism, he's talking about unity, it's really, really good stuff. And I think the point is that he has a platform and he's willing to use it to make the world a better place. And that's it, guys. That's my analysis of who Jon Bellion is. It's also my argument for why you should go listen to his music, because he truly has something to offer and he's giving it in the best way he knows possible. And to an extent, I think those two are the best things that we can ask for from an artist. And so I think Jon Bellion is a really, really cool guy. And Jon, if you're watching this, or anybody who knows Jon is watching this, like, I would really love to talk to you about music, even if it's not like for an interview for the channel or something, but it would just be awesome to be able to talk to you. Tons of respect, everybody. I hope that you guys respect Jon Bellion more as a result of watching this video, maybe give his music a try. Though remember, we're not telling people that he's underrated because he doesn't want to be more famous. Thanks for watching. I hope that you check out these videos. You'll check out the magical songwriting process in the description down below, learn how to write lyrics yourself, and I'll talk to you guys next time.